3, 4, and back to neutral. Here's where we'll start. Good. Make sure this group clears this, and then now you're all set. Yeah, in other words, you don't want. Well, you don't want this.
What do you mean the other?
Oh, because then it'll block me. Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to go?
As soon as you turn, I can't throw the punch. I mean, as soon as you right, I don't have a punch.
Now, if you did shallow, you're fighting yourself. But you do a little deeper.
Okay, this is your last chance.
It's this. Do it again. You can even grab it. So you can grab it. Okay, if he hasn't grabbed it, if he's about to grab it, this will prevent the grab. But if he has grabbed it, this really makes him go, whoa. Okay, so it's this part. Okay, then you have this.
It's a throw, yep.
And it's a throw. There's a little hint here. And it happens in the kata. We already said about this, right? Now, slide to the shiko. Because once he's bent forward and you're not there, just a little pressure will take him down. If you try to haul him over your shoulder, it's more difficult. 1, 2. Okay, so it's 1. Does that look familiar? 2. So I turn, and now I'm using my arm to press his elbow and hit him, and then open to the fist. What if it had been the other hand? I can either block the punch that's coming, or I can just hit him. It's the same thing.
Right.
Now I realize that most of you didn't know these kata. Tell you the truth, I get lost too. When I'm teaching a segment of the kata, I have to go through it in my head. But notice that there are movements inbuilt in the kata that don't seem to make any sense unless the guy is attacking you from behind. So this was the second of the rear attacks seminar. And what I'm trying to do is, the name of the whole series is Kata for the Streets. Let me explain the theory here. We can't be nasty like you would be on the street because people have to work tomorrow. Okay? Even though some of you I really consider the possibility of being nasty too, but but we often don't realize that when we learn kata, we get so used to the precision motion that we don't think bunkai or application or analysis. The practical street stuff isn't the lunge punch to the face, which is what we always defend against in the dojo. It's symbolic. It's a beginner's attack, and we do all our techniques off a lunge punch. Nobody attacks like that. Even if they attack you with a punch, it's more like this, right? So we try to make it so that you're doing stuff that people might actually do. That's why we did the earlier versions of the seminar, and that's why we're doing rear attacks. Now look, of course somebody can come up with something that is a kata does not cover. I'm not so foolish as to think that if you study Okinawan karate or Japanese karate, that you will then have all solutions to all problems. Only Charlie has that, and he charges money because it's in a safe in his backyard. Okay? So, but again, my goal is to make people appreciative of how rich kata study is. Jeff, would you come up here for a second? I just want to make fun of Jeff. No. Tell them the story about why you stopped studying karate.
Because we're doing all this time and effort on kata, and that's not how we fight.
And his argument was that people don't fight like that. Well, they don't fight like that. But they do defend themselves like that if you see the application. So now what do you tell people about
Oh,
kata?
I love kata.
Right? He quit karate because they were doing stuff that wasn't applicable to fighting. He's done Thai boxing, and he gets how valuable the kata is because of its self-defense application. Right?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
fair?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, any questions?